Drums first, no reference, just what lived in his head. Then bass, then that clavinet, 8 separate tracks building impossible texture. The instrument he called funky, dirty, and stinky. His engineer watched in amazement as the vision revealed itself, layer by layer. Number 12, Love Ballad by L.T.D, 1976. The contradiction hit immediately. Jeffrey Osborne's voice soared with aching tenderness, while the arrangement stayed impossibly controlled, strings swelling but never overwhelming, horns punctuating but never dominating. That balance made it work. Released from their Love to the World album, the track spent 2 weeks at #1 R&B and cracked the Pop Top 20, proving L.T.D could deliver smooth sophistication without sacrificing soul. And what we have is much. Osborne's vocal runs felt effortless, gliding through octaves like he was born doing it, while the rhythm section kept everything grounded in that deep pocket funk. So right. This was grown-up soul music, the kind that played at dimly lit gatherings where people actually listened instead of just dancing. Lovers come and then lovers go. Late night radio embraced it immediately. That smooth, intimate sound became the template for quiet storm formats across the country. Never felt, never dreamed of. George Benson later covered it and took it even higher on the charts, but Osborne's original captured something unrepeatable, that moment when heartbreak sounds beautiful. You love me, hold me and say you care. From that tender sophistication, the next track brings completely unexpected energy. So much. Number 11, One in a Million You by Larry Graham, 1980. To convince me to give in. Here's what nobody tells you. Warner Brothers didn't want this released. Graham, the bass pioneer from Sly and the Family Stone and Graham Central Station, had built his career on funk. Hard, driving, infectious grooves that made bodies move. Then he walked into the studio and recorded this tender ballad in falsetto, playing most instruments himself, and the label panicked. But Graham had the right to choose his singles, and he chose this one because his heart told him to. Watch what happened next. It shot to #1 R&B for 2 weeks, hit #9 pop, went gold, and became his biggest solo success. The song marked a complete stylistic departure. Graham returning to the vocal style he'd developed, singing alongside his mother, a pianist who loved Nat King Cole standards. Those high notes weren't showing off. They were Graham accessed in emotional depth. His funk tracks, brilliant as they were, never touched. The production stayed intentionally sparse, letting that falsetto breathe and the lyrics land with maximum impact. This was quiet sophistication, music for couples slow dancing at midnight. I started to believe I never. For moments when words felt inadequate. While he delivered that intimacy flawlessly, the next artist's track arrived with completely different chemistry.
You know what breaks my heart a little? Only 1% of the people who watch R&B vinyl are actually subscribed. 99 out of 100 of you keep coming back, vibing with the grooves, feeling the stories, reliving the voices that built soul itself, but you still haven't hit that button. Think about it. You've spent time here, maybe even rediscovered a song that hit you right in the chest. And yet, you're walking away before the next track drops. Subscribing costs nothing, not a cent. But it means you'll never miss the moments that remind you who you were when that record first played. R&B vinyl isn't just music. It's memory, it's heritage. It's the pulse that still beats under everything we love. Don't just listen from the sidelines. Be part of the 1% who keep the soul alive. Hit subscribe, stay, groove, and keep the record spinning with us.
Number 10, Touch a Four-Leaf Clover by Atlantic Starr, 1983. Composed by the Lewis Brothers and produced by James Anthony Carmichael, this cut from their Yours Forever album reached number 4 R&B and showcased Atlantic Starr at their silkiest. The arrangement layered synthesizers, guitars, and Sharon Bryant's crystalline lead vocals into something that felt both contemporary and timeless. That early 80s sweet spot where soul met sophisticated pop production. Bryant's delivery carried just enough yearning to make the romance feel real, while the rhythm section kept things moving with that unhurried groove that made you want to sway rather than stomp. The production glistened without feeling overproduced. Each instrument occupying its own space in the mix, horns adding flavor without cluttering, strings providing warmth without drowning the vocals. This was music for cruising with the windows down on a perfect evening, the kind of track that made even mundane drives feel cinematic. Erykah Badu would later cover it on Baduism, proving its staying power across generations. That smooth elegance set the stage, but what came next hit with completely different intensity. Number 9, I've Been Lonely for So Long by Frederick Knight, 1972. Knight recorded the entire foundation on acoustic guitars, bass, hi-hat drums, and wooden plank thumping on top of a bar stool. That's not studio legend. That's documented fact. Then he overdubbed his own vocals in layers, harmonies, high falsetto, bass leads, and that spoken intermezzo that felt like he was confessing secrets. The result became a Southern soul masterpiece, climbing to number 8 R&B and number 27 pop. Written by his wife, Posey Knight and Jerry Weaver, the track captured something peculiar and magnificent, raw vulnerability wrapped in sophisticated arrangement. Knight's voice carried real desperation, not performed emotion, but actual longing that made listeners uncomfortable and unable to look away. Recorded in Sound of Birmingham, the production stayed warm and intimate despite multiple overdubs, each vocal layer adding depth rather than distance. Don't seem like happiness will come along. This was music that sounded like late-night phone calls, like sitting alone in dim rooms, replaying memories. Ry Cooder and King Floyd both covered it later, recognizing something universal in Knight's specific pain. From that aching isolation, the next track brings unexpected company. Number 8, Somebody's Been Sleeping by 100 Proof, Aged in Soul, 1970. Written by General Johnson, Angelo Bond, and Greg Perry for the Hot Wax Chouch Invictus label, Holland Dozier Holland's post-Motown venture, this track told its story through brilliant metaphor, quoting liberally from Goldilocks and the Three Bears to describe discovering a lover's infidelity. Released as their second single, it became a top 10 pop hit, reaching number 8 and climbed even higher on R&B, hitting number 6. Steve Mancha delivered the lead vocals with perfectly calibrated emotion, hurt but not hysterical, angry but controlled, the kind of performance that made you believe he'd actually walked in and found someone sleeping in his bed. The arrangement supported that narrative beautifully, funk guitar punctuating the accusations, horns adding dramatic emphasis, the whole production tight and punchy in that early 70s soul style. Joe Stubbs, formerly of the Contours and the Originals, provided co-lead vocals throughout the album, but Mancha owned this particular moment. This was clever songwriting meeting impeccable execution, the kind of track that made people stop talking when it came on the radio. While they kept things playful despite the subject, the next artist dove straight into raw intensity. Number 7, Try Me by James Brown, 1958. Brown's career was collapsing. Most of the original Famous Flames had walked out over royalty disputes and billing indignities, leaving him with just Johnny Terry from the founding lineup. He needed a hit desperately, so he wrote something completely different from Please, 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 a tender ballad inspired by Dee Clark's Raindrops and Jerry Butler's For Your Precious Love. Released in October 1958, it became their first R&B chart topper, hitting number 1 in early 1959 and reaching number 48 pop. But here's the twist. Despite being a ballad, Brown sang it with the pleading intensity that became his signature, voice cracking with genuine emotion, backup vocals providing church-like call and response support. The production stayed sparse, simple rhythm section, subtle horns, just enough arrangement to frame Brown's vocal without competing with it. This was Brown proving he could do more than novelty up-tempo tracks, demonstrating range that saved his career and earned him over 1 million in sales. Live performances of Try Me appeared on Live at the Apollo and became a permanent fixture in his shows for decades. That vulnerability Brown displayed opened doors, and the next group walked through them with youthful confidence. Number 6, Never Can Say Goodbye by the Jackson 5, 1971. 12-year-old Michael Jackson singing about toxic relationship cycles shouldn't have worked. Motown worried the song was too adult for their teenage group, but producer Hal Davis had conviction, played the unreleased track loud enough to reach Berry Gordy's office next door, and watched the founder come running in, declaring, "Hey, that's a smash!" Written by Clifton Davis for the Supremes, but reassigned to the Jackson 5, the song climbed to number 2 pop for 3 consecutive weeks, stuck behind Three Dog Night's Joy to the World, while hitting number 1 R&B. Michael's delivery carried surprising emotional weight for someone barely into adolescence, his voice conveying the pain of cycles he theoretically shouldn't understand yet. The arrangement featured that flute thread haunting the background throughout, creating melancholy atmosphere, while the rhythm section maintained Motown's signature pocket. Recorded in June 1970 at Hitsville West, the production demonstrated the label's polish at its peak. Every instrument perfectly placed, vocals mixed to sit exactly where they needed. This was basement party music that made people stop dancing and actually feel something. From that bittersweet longing, the next track brings pure attitude. Feeling this? Drop your favorite so far. Let's see if we're on the same page. Number 5, Mr. Big Stuff by Gene Knight, 1971. Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are? Knight worked as a baker at Dominican College in New Orleans. When songwriter Ralph Williams discovered her, she'd been recording locally without national attention for years. Wardell Quezergy brought her to Malaco Studios in Jackson, Mississippi in May 1970 during the same whirlwind session that produced King Floyd's Groove Me. After recording Mr. Big Stuff, producers shopped it to multiple labels who all passed. But when Groove Me became a number 1 R&B hit, a Stax producer remembered Knight's recording and released it in 1971. You're never gonna get my love. Now I know the girl. Watch What Happened. It shot to number 2 pop, topped the R&B chart for 5 weeks, sold over 2 million copies, and became Stax's biggest selling single ever. Just who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. The song addressed an egotistical man with expensive cars and fancy clothes through Knight's sassy, no-nonsense delivery. Get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. Her voice dripping with attitude as female backup singers punctuated with "oh yeah" at strategic moments. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? Quezergy's production featured tight offbeat bass lines and immaculate arrangements that turned indignation into irresistible groove. This was feminist anthem soul music that didn't ask permission or apologize. Knight told Mr. Big Stuff exactly where he could go. That defiance resonated, earning a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Vocal Performance Female. While she kept her dignity intact, the next artist traded emotional declarations. You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. Number 4, Born to Be Alive by Patrick Hernandez, 1978. Hernandez, born in France to a Spanish father and Austrian Italian mother, wrote this track and couldn't find any producer interested until he met Belgian producer Jean Van Loo. They recorded it in Belgium, released it on French label Aquarius, and watched it explode across European dance clubs. By January 1979, Hernandez received his first gold record from By year's end, he'd racked up 52 gold and platinum records from more than 50 different countries. That's not hyperbole, that's documented fact. When American promoter Tom Hayden and music publisher Mike Stewart's A-Tom-Muck label remixed and released it stateside, the track hit #1 on Billboard's Hot Dance Club Play chart and reached number 16 pop. The production was pure disco euphoria, driving four-on-the-floor drums, soaring strings, Hernandez's vocals celebrating existence itself with infectious joy. Madonna, just starting her career as a dancer, toured parts of Europe with Hernandez after auditioning in New York. This was music that made your whole body tingle with happiness. The kind of track that felt like declaration, invitation simultaneously. From that universal celebration, the next track brings intimate groove. Number 3, Gotta Give It Up by Marvin Gaye, 1977. Berry Gordy and Motown Brass kept pressuring Gaye to record disco music as the genre exploded. Gaye resisted until inspiration struck from Johnny Taylor's Disco Lady. His answer came wrapped in autobiography and parody. Working at his recording studio complex Marvin's Room with engineer Art Stewart from December 14th to 17, 1976, Gaye recorded lead vocals, instrumentation, and backgrounds featuring his brother Frankie and girlfriend Janice Hunter. That party chatter fill in the background wasn't added later. Gaye literally brought friends into the studio to create authentic atmosphere. Fernando Harkness delivered that tenor saxophone solo in the second half, while the whole track built on Moog synthesizer bass from the room-filling TO&TO system. Originally 12 minutes long for his 1977 live double album, Marvin Gaye Live at the London Palladium, the edited single version hit #1 pop and R&B while topping the dance chart. The song influenced Michael Jackson's Shake Your Body Down to the Ground and Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Both adapted Gaye's chant structure and percussive funk guitar approach. This was disco created on Gaye's terms, funk disguised as party music, sophistication masquerading as simplicity. While Gaye kept it funky, the next track brings pure celebratory disco. Number 2, Boogie Oogie Oogie by A Taste of Honey, 1978. Janice Marie Johnson almost wrecked her 1967 Volvo when she first heard this over the airwaves. She ran a red light, so excited she couldn't focus on driving. The Los Angeles group signed by Capitol Records in 1972 had spent 6 years touring and refining their sound, including USO performances in Spain, Morocco, Taiwan, Thailand, the Philippines, South Korea, and Japan. When they returned to LA and played a nightclub, producers Fonts and Larry Mizell spotted them and convinced Capitol Vice executive producer Larkin Arnold to provide an audition. Released in summer 1978 from their self-titled debut, Boogie Oogie Oogie topped pop, soul, and disco charts simultaneously in September, becoming Capitol Records' first certified platinum single ever. Over 2 million copies sold. The track featured Johnson doing lead vocals while simultaneously playing that iconic bass line, the one that drove the whole arrangement. The production was pure crossover disco brilliance, accessible enough for pop radio while maintaining enough funk credibility for R&B stations. At the 20th Grammys, in February 1979, A Taste of Honey won Best New Artist over nominees including The Cars, Elvis Costello, and Toto. This was music that commanded you to boogie until you couldn't boogie anymore. Infectious joy bottled and pressed to vinyl. But one track sits above even this celebration. Still with us, hit subscribe so you never miss these deep dives. The best stories are always in the grooves. Number 1, Superstition by Stevie Wonder, 1972. Wonder recorded the entire song on drums first with no reference except what existed in his head, then added the keyboard bass, then that clavinet. His recording engineer, Malcolm Cecil, remembered watching in amazement as Wonder's complete conceptualization revealed itself layer by layer. That iconic clavinet riff, which Wonder described as funky, dirty, stinky, was actually 8 separate clavinet tracks mixed together to create impossibly thick texture. Wonder played it on a Honor clavinet Model C, the instrument doing the job a guitarist normally would, providing the single note riff at the song's core and chord parts similar to strummed guitar. The Moog synthesizer bass came from T.O. that extraordinary room-filling collection of electronics that added totally unique sonic palette. Add Steve Medallo's trumpet and Trevor Lawrence's tenor saxophone, and you had something unprecedented. Released October 1972 from the Talking Book album, Superstition hit number 1 pop in January 1973, Wonder's first number 1 single since Fingertips, Pink 2 in 1963.